Where are Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter going to land in this year's NFL draft? Well, I think we got some interesting news that should point us, I think, towards their final destinations. Of course, I want to hear what y'all have to say. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get on into it. So, if you didn't see this, if you've been living under a rock this past week, the New York Giants, they were out without a quarterback. Only Danny DeVito or whatever his name, Tommy DeVito, was on the roster. They signed Jameis Winston last week to a 2-year deal. I think it's worth up to $16 million. And then we saw yesterday, this was pretty surprising, Russell Wilson signing with the New York Giants on a 10-year or on a 1-year, $10 million guaranteed, could be worth up to $21 million if he ends up playing quite a bit. And this tells me a few different things, okay? Number one, the Giants will not be drafting a quarterback high. No, I don't think that's the case. If they felt good about that, again, remember Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, man, they're trying to make sure they keep their jobs after this year. And I think a lot of people were surprised that they weren't fired after this past year, but they're getting a chance to hand select their quarterback, whether that's through the draft or free agency. To me, you're not drafting a quarterback high or drafting a quarterback with that number 3 overall pick and having Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson in the room. To me, that just does not make any sense. So maybe they go later on drafting a guy like Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe, one of those guys, right? Tyler Shook. But Shedeur Sanders, you only make this signing if you got a pretty clear idea that Shedeur and Cam Ward are not going to be available come pick 3. So I think the Titans, they're going to make Cam Ward the pick. I know there's been some rumors of them wanting to trade out, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to select Cam Ward. And that leaves the Browns. What are they going to do now? You might have said, well, guys, can't the Cowboys get that second overall pick? Because there's some rumors about Dak Prescott going to the Browns. I don't buy it. I really don't. It would have to surprise me it would surprise me quite a bit because Dak Prescott has a no trade clause. The Cowboys also take on like $100 million in dead cap if they were to trade Dak Prescott this year anyways. Doesn't really make sense for Dak to leave Dallas for Cleveland. Again, I think Dak's got something great going on. And while the Cowboys, maybe they could eat that $100 million cap hit this year, whatever, and then just move on and rebuild. To me, it just doesn't seem feasible. They would really do that. Would Jerry Jones be okay just totally punting on a year? Well, we'll have to see. I really do think the Browns are going to select Shedeur Sanders. That sucks because I don't want to see Shedeur in those ugly Cleveland Brown uniforms. But Kevin Stefanski, he's going to have, his guy. I think, again, he's going to select Shedeur Sanders. He's going to get an opportunity to coach a guy that he's having input on. From what I remember, he didn't really have any discussion or any say at all with them acquiring Deshaun Watson. And you might say, well, they got Deshaun Watson, Dave. What about him? No. He tore his Achilles again last year. I doubt he comes back to play, at least to start the season. But you saw how his shoulder was just absolutely shot as well. His accuracy was terrible. Deshaun Watson's cooked, man. He's no longer a franchise quarterback type of guy with those injuries too. So I think it's likely. We'll see Cam Ward go first off the board, then Shedeur Sanders to Cleveland, teaming up with Jerry Jeudy. We'll see how that goes. And then at 3, the New York Giants should be in an interesting position. They could go edge rusher and select Abdul Carter. Versatile playmaker. I think he's a little raw, though, definitely. But what I think they should do is definitely go Travis Hunter at number 3. You got a guy that I think you can play on both sides of the field, obviously. And you might say, well, he's a better corner than he is wide receiver. Okay, you can say that. Now he should have won the corner, the award for best corner this past year. I forget what it was. Jim Thorpe Award for best defensive back. But he did win the Biletnikoff Award because he is a better wide receiver than all the other guys in this draft, including Tet McMillan, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden. Travis Hunter is better than all of them. I think he can become a Justin Jefferson type receiver in the NFL. Now, if it's just me, I probably play him at wide receiver more than corner, but we know that any NFL team, they're probably going to be selecting Travis Hunter with the idea that they're going to be playing him on both sides of the ball. I think he would be an absolute star in New York City, and that's why I really want to see him there. And teaming up with Malik Neighbors, that could be a lot of fun. But Travis Hunter, he's, of course, everything that he's been through, the player that he's become, I think he's perfect. He's perfectly built for New York. Totally. In some ways, he kind of reminds me of Eli Manning because when Eli came out there, of course, there's all that drama about not going to the Chargers or whatever, but just him and like his energy, how he was, it was built perfectly to deal with the New York media, man. Like he was built for it. Travis Hunter is obviously much different than Eli, like personality wise, but he's low key. He's not about being famous and all this stuff. He's just a star player, right? That's who he is. He's all about football. I would love to see him in New York City. And I think he's truly a player that can, even though he's playing the boundaries, I think he's truly a player that will elevate both the offense and defense and really help out the New York Giants. Now, how much can you help when you're trying to overcome a washed Russell Wilson at this point? Who knows? I say just start Jameis, man. At least have Giants football be entertaining with him throwing downfield to Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter. No doubt about it. And when when Jameis Winston throws those interceptions, Travis Hunter can just go intercept the ball. Give it back to the offense, right? But I want to know your thoughts. Do you see this as the likely scenario, or do you see another team possibly trading up? Or do you see the Browns passing on a quarterback so that they can go with a washed Kirk Cousins? Don't put anything past Cleveland. Maybe Shedeur falls to the Jets in that scenario, or falls to the Saints. Even as a Broncos fan, we got other needs, but I would absolutely be trying to get the price on what it would take for Denver to go up and get Travis Hunter at number 3, if he is there. No doubt about it. He is a franchise-changing player and one of the rare franchise-changing players that doesn't play the quarterback position. So, thank you guys so much for your time. We'll see what happens next with this whole Cleveland Browns stuff, Dak Prescott rumors, all that. I'll be back again soon. Let's go Buffs.